13, a therapist says, cognitive psychotherapy focuses on changing a patient's conscious beliefs. Thus, cognitive psychotherapy is likely to be more effective at helping patients overcome psychological problems than are forms of psychotherapy that focus on changing unconscious beliefs and desires. Why? Well, since only conscious beliefs are under the patient's direct conscious control. One test, and I don't formally emphasize this that much, but you do need to understand what part of that argument is the conclusion and what part of that argument is the evidence. So, what's the conclusion there? Who asked for number 13? What's the conclusion of that argument?
After the thus, right?
What's that? Yeah, it is the after the thus, yeah. And it's not just thus that tells you that. There's another word that signals, that helps you figure out where the conclusion is. There's another signaling word in that argument. What is it? Since, yeah. Since means because. Since almost always means the thing I just said before was my conclusion, and here comes some explanatory evidence. Okay, so both of those are clues there that the thus is introducing the conclusion and the since is introducing a premise and also telling you that probably what came right before it was the conclusion. So you could then rearrange the argument before you even go on to the answer choices or whatever else. Remember, I'm willing to take all the time in the world in order to understand the argument. So to rearrange the argument, you get cognitive psychotherapy focuses on conscious beliefs. Only conscious beliefs are under a patient's direct conscious control. Therefore, cognitive psychotherapy is likely to be more effective at helping patients overcome psychological problems. Right? That's the argument. Now, does that add up? Cognitive psychotherapy focuses on conscious beliefs. Only conscious beliefs are under the patient's direct conscious control. Therefore, it's more likely to help you overcome psychological problems. Wait a minute. That now after rearranging it, now I'm seeing a gap in the argument. So the gap that I would identify here is, are psychological problems mostly because of, what does direct conscious control have to do with anything, basically, is my hole in the argument. Okay, I think the gap is between direct conscious control and therefore likely to help fix problems. I get it that only your conscious beliefs are likely to be under your control. But do you have to have control in order to be able to fix problems? That's my question. That's my objection. I wish, in order to complete this argument, I would like a premise that said we can only fix problems that are within our direct conscious control. They seem to have assumed that. All right, now what type of a question is this? Which one of the following, if true, would most strengthen the therapist's argument? It's a strengthen question. Strengthen questions have a wide range of possible answers. You can strengthen an argument a little bit, or you can strengthen an argument a lot. If I'm trying to help the argument as much as possible, I guess here I would prefer, I'll take as strongly stated of an answer as I can possibly get. So something like, nobody in the history of the world has ever fixed a problem that they did not have control over. That'd be pretty good. It's a missing piece of the argument. I think that would help the argument a lot. So that's my prediction. A, psychological problems are frequently caused by unconscious beliefs that could be changed with the aid of psychotherapy. That might weaken the argument. B, it's difficult for any form of psychotherapy to be effective without focusing on mental states that are under the patient's direct conscious control. That's almost exactly what I was looking for. C, cognitive psychotherapy is the only form of psychotherapy that focuses primarily on changing the patient's conscious beliefs kind of seems like it already said that. I don't see that as a missing piece of the argument. D, no form of psychotherapy that focuses on changing the patient's unconscious beliefs and desires can be effective unless it also helps change. That's one of those just like so many words and I don't even know what it's talking about. E, all of the patient's conscious beliefs are under the patient's conscious control, but other psychological states cannot be controlled effectively without the aid of psychotherapy. What? That, I don't even, whatever. I don't know. So my answer there is B, because, you know, I notice there again, like I just don't need to take that much time analyzing the answer choices because I figured out the argument. I had to rearrange the argument there, had to think about whether it made sense or not, decided that it had something missing, and then once I know what's missing, then I can go in and find that strengthener, and it's exactly what I was looking for.